Welcome to the Rocket Roof Show, where we equip fellow roofers to do more commercial business every first and third Thursday of the month. It's time to launch your business to the next level.
This is Project Command. Stand by at power transfer.
3, 2, 1. Blast off!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Roof Show with your guest Andy Neer here. I am the owner of Empire Roofing Contractors here in West Michigan, but I like to do this podcast, and basically the premise of this podcast is helping to educate and equip roofing contractors for the commercial roofing industry. So I love doing that, and I love taking on this podcast. Bringing on experts and people that are in the industry to share insight and to help further the industry for positivity and professionalism. So today I have a very, very special guest on the call today. He's not a nationally known celebrity, but he's a very big guy in my neck of the woods because he's my mentor and coach that helped me actually break through the commercial roofing barrier. Now, I've been doing commercial roofs for, 6 or 8 years, maybe 10 years before meeting Sam, but never really made any headway, never got any traction. As an old friend used to say, I was spinning my wheels. And today I have Sam Hostetler with me from the great state of Montana. And welcome to the show, Sam.
Hey, welcome. I'm glad to be on, Andy, with you today and share a little bit of how you and I connected and got started.
Yep. So, so just start off and tell me a little bit about your company. You own a company called 5 Star Roofing out there in Montana, but you haven't always done commercial roofing, right? Like, tell me a little bit of backstory about your business and how you got started.
We have not always been in commercial roofing. We've primarily been doing that for the last 11 years now in North Dakota, Montana. But prior to that, like a lot of other contractors, we've been doing siding, residential roofing, a little bit of building, houses, stuff like that. Just everything that we can get our hands on, and wishing we could make it big. So that's kind of where I was at before I got into the commercials.
So I see a lot of people that are in construction trades. I mean, there's so many trades when you're talking about construction. And when I was the same way when I started off working for somebody else, I did decks, windows. I did pretty much everything except for electrical heating and stuff like that. But when I went out on my own, I did everything exterior, right? Like decks, windows, siding, soffit, fascia, roofing. And then as the years went by, I kind of specialized a little bit more. And so you're kind of the same boat too, right? You did pole barns, you did cement, you did framing, residential roofing. So what made you zero in on commercial? What sparked your interest in the commercial sector?
Well, I guess what took me into the commercial side of it was necessity. I ended up with in the construction industry, the market kind of dropped out from underneath us contractors back in 2008. And we ended up, a lot of us contractors, struggling for work, and most of us, quite a large amount of us guys, went belly up. And those that were lean and mean and went down to a few guys working and stuff like that, those are the ones that survived. And that's pretty much where I found myself. And then I was offered the opportunity to take a look at the commercial side of it, Andy. And when I looked at it and basically heard the story of the guy that told me to take a look at commercial roofing, he had also been in construction. And in 2008, he went primarily all commercial roofing, and he did better in 6-8 months with 2 or 3 guys than he had been doing prior to that with 12 guys in construction. And that sparked my interest. And that's when I decided, you know what, I need to do something different. And if this gentleman has done it, then so could I.
Now, if I may ask you, because I do know your story a little bit. He asked you several times, right? Like several times, and you were just like,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He told. I was a little bit, like, man, I don't know nothing about commercial roofing, and I have no money to spend. There's no way I can do commercial roofing. That's pretty much where I was. But one thing that this gentleman asked that was very key, that really made me think seriously, was he just asked me, he said, man, Sam, if you continue doing your construction the way you've been doing for the last 5, 6, 10 years already, where are you going to be in 5 years? What's going to change in your business? And I said, man, probably not too much, because we contractors have our highs and our lows and everything in between. And sometimes it's feasting and sometimes it's famine. And it's been kind of that way for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? You're probably right. I need to take a serious look at this.
Yeah. So I want to dive right into, I see a lot of guys, they dip their toe in the commercial water. They're doing residential roofing already maybe, and they're like, yeah, we're going to add commercial. And they think like we're going to add it as another thing. That works for some people, and it depends on what your model. Every business as individual has its own personal model. But and I tried that for several years. And as you know, this year I decided I'm going to go full-fledged commercial. So today's topic is looking commercial. We want to be perceived as commercial. There's a lot of contractors out there that do both. Nothing wrong with that. But for those serious about commercial, why should they create a branding, their branding around looking truly commercial?
Honest truth is, Andy, and my construction and my experience is this: you can only chase one rabbit well. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to have, unless you're set up with the right guys running the different divisions of your organization, you're probably not going to succeed very well chasing 2 or 3 different divisions in your company. So for me, I got focused on commercial. I cut everything else out, and we became very good at what we do. And we've done very well the last 11 years here in Montana, running lean, and just a lean operation, man, and high profits. That's what our goal is.
Lean and efficient with high profits. So I'm going to spill a little bit of the beans here on you, because I know you won't say it yourself, but you're a single owner operator with 3 or 4 employees, something like that, and
yes.
But you only work like 7, 8 months out of the year and take the other 4 or 5 months off, and work on the 5 months off, work on vacations, family time, but you marketing and planning and strategizing for the next year. And a lot of guys, they think that's not really real. That's that's a pie in the sky or whatever. But everybody business is set up separate. So but what, and you and I've had this discussion many times. There's people that are running huge operations, huge outfits, 30, 40, 25, 30, 40 employees. And, they got all that overhead, they got all that staff, and they're paying out all those commissions, and they're running a big operation. And from the outside, it looks like, man, this guy's got it going on. But a guy with a 4-man crew, setting himself right up, estimating the right jobs, can make the same amount of money. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Andy. I've seen it over and over. One of the things that we contractors sometimes.
I've seen your profit margins. I've seen your profit margins. I know that.
One of the things that we contractors struggle with is we want to scale, and we want to become that $10 million organization, that $20 million organization. But unless you really watch your numbers closely, and you know where you're at, and everything's working and clicking along smoothly, most of us find our profit margins start taking a serious hit. And I've talked to enough roofers all over the country that even if you have a $10 million company, a lot of guys are out there. And I hear you and I feel you when I speak, I'm talking here, that only realize a 5% profit, on a $10 million organization, or even less than that. And they're wondering what's going on? Well, sometimes we just scale too quick, too fast, and we don't let the profit, the overhead overtakes our profit too quickly.
Yep.
And I've been there. I've done that. I've tried. I wanted to be the big guy, but I finally came to the place that I'm happier working hard 6 months out of the year and having that, the 30% profit margins that we run, and I have a whole lot less overhead, and I don't have staff to keep, that has to be paid. I don't have a lot of, leased trucks or anything like that has to be, kept up with.
Yep.
And then I can travel the country too. And we do. And that I travel all over the country, and we get a lot of family time in the fall, in the winter times.
Yep. So let's talk about commercial building owners themselves. How do business owners perceive contractors who have a mix of residential and commercial on their website or other marketing material? Do you think it matters?
I don't necessarily think that matters. That it depends on, because first of all, what really matters to the building owner is, are you going to do a good job for me, and can you get the job done? And are you going to take care of me from here on out? If you are that person and you can do that, it doesn't really matter if you have a mixed business. Because I know some of my team, like William Schrock, I'm just going to mention William Schrock. William Schrock is a great guy. He's got a construction division and he's got a roofing division. And in the roofing division, he does both commercial and residential, and he does very well. And but he's got the right personnel that is taking care of his divisions. They're responsible people. They make it happen.
Yep.
And so it works well for him. But for me, no. I would not want to run both residential and commercial.
Well, for me, I can tell you, I noticed a significant uptick on my calls and inquiries and leads coming in once I took all my residential pictures off of my website.
Right.
I think I might have one still lingering in there that's kind of on a back page or something like that. But for me, my belief is you want a building owner to feel like you're predominantly commercial.
Right.
I think
we do that.
I think if you're half and half, customer or a building owner might think, well, they dabble in commercial, and I don't really want somebody practicing on my roof or somebody that dabbles in commercial on my roof. So, but like I said, even you and I might even differ on opinion. But I think it also depends on your demographic, what area you're in, and also how many years experience you have as a contractor, how long you've been in business, whether you can have residential mixed in there or not. So, but it's not a hard and fast rule, but I thought I'd ask you the question.
It's not hard and fast, but I'm just saying, I think for me, it works better for me to strictly focus on commercial and industrial roofs. It just does.
Yep.
Did you know Andy Neer has been using Top Roof Marketing for the commercial roofing division of his business for more than 3 years? If you're not happy with the results you're getting or haven't looked into all the ways out there to grow your commercial business, take a look at toproofmarketing.com. They can show you solid data to back up the proven strategies they use to get their clients more commercial business year after year.
When estimating and trying to bid jobs for commercial roofing, what differences, what kind of different decision factors do building owners take into consideration that a residential homeowner might not think about? Like, for example, sometimes you're dealing with a committee. Sometimes you're dealing with budgetary items where people are getting estimates for a budget. Like, give me some ideas on factors that building owners might take into consideration that would throw a guy that's been doing residential roofing, off.
Well, one of the biggest factors is most times in the commercial side of it, you're doing a lot larger scale of monies involved.
Yep.
You know, you're looking at $50,000, $100,000, which a homeowner, you know, might be 15 to 30,000 or something like that, more average. So because there's larger amounts of money, sometimes in the commercial, you will be like waiting for a deal to come through because of finances a little bit longer, you know, maybe 12 months versus 30 days or even 2 weeks, you know, not all the time. I mean, some of the smaller commercial roofs, you know, they close pretty quick if they're in the $25,000, $30,000 range, you know, but on the larger projects, normally it takes a little bit more time to run through a community, make sure everything's okay, finances are there and stuff like that. But on that note, one of the things I really like working with commercial building owners versus residential houses, you know, and stuff like that is most of the time, if you can reach what the problem is with a commercial guy, they got cash flow on the line and they want their problems to go away. They want to make money. So it's not necessarily all the time that people are looking for the best, like the cheapest price. Mm-hmm. They're out there, but most of our business retail, so we're very personal, one-on-one with most of the building owners, and the people that we talk with mostly are they want somebody that can come and help their take care of their needs, but then are going to be around for the next 20 years.
Yep.
You know. And they want that relationship. So it's not always about the bottom dollar. It's about how we make them feel and take care of their problem. And are we going to be around for the next 20 years?
Yep.
You know, that
project we're working on right now is the largest dollar amount project that I've ever done. And the facility manager told me several times, he goes, when I call you and you respond, that means a lot to me. He goes, whether you're the pest control guy, or you're the concrete guy, or you're the roofer, if you call and you respond, and he goes, I will use you exclusively.
Andy, you have touched on the $1 million money-making idea right there.
Yep.
If most roofers would respond immediately, every time their customers call, I'm not talking about 24 hours. I'm talking in 30 minutes or in whatever time frame. You are always answering the phone. You will have faithful customers from there on. That is the biggest gripe I found in all my years of doing construction is people complaining that contractors never get back to them.
And I'm going to piggyback on your answer right there because I know some guys are going to be like, well, I don't have my phone on 24/7. You know, I got family time. I'm sleeping or whatever.
Let me just say this right now. If your phone is not on 24/7, then you're not serious about your business.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there because I shut my phone off at night.
My phone is
here's what I was going to say. You better have a really good voicemail that is sincere and genuine, and that is not full. I've called contractors that are hungry for work, and it'll say their voicemail is not set up, or their voicemail is full, or it says, hey, you know the drill. Leave your number at the name of the beep. You know, you should have a clean, concise, professional voicemail.
Right.
And
now that is included in the 24/7, Andy. That's included in the 24/7.
Good. Yeah.
You're touching on. You got to be able to get a hold of your client has to be able to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And nothing more aggravating than the phone going to a full voicemail somewhere.
Yep.
Actually, the reason your voicemail is full is probably because because you really don't want to listen to those voicemails that are coming on. You probably have a happy customer.
I've been there. I've been there years ago.
I'm only talking from experience, man.
Yep.
We avoid listening to our voicemails because we know we have an unhappy customer out there, and that costs us money.
Yep.
Take care of your customers, man. No excuse.
So I got a question for you. You used quite a few different methods of marketing, but I think I already know the answer to your question, or to this question that you're going to give me. But what's the number one thing that you've used for? What's the number one type of marketing that has gotten you the most amount of jobs or the best jobs?
My most consistent marketing I have done for 11 years that consistently gives us return is mailers.
Okay. Now I wanted to say that because I know a lot of guys, they're like, oh, I don't want to mention mailers because that's the secret sauce, you know? Yeah. But and I know a lot of guys are like, oh, mailers, that's a bunch of hooey. I've tried it before. I got zero response. I know what I do with mailers when they come to my house. I throw them in the garbage. But I always respond to people. It depends on who's doing your mailers. I've had people that I work with that I've coached, and I'll tell them exactly the steps on how I did it. And then they'll go, well, I got a lady I work with in my town, and she can do it cheaper than that. So I'll just have her do it. And I can't talk them out of it. You know, they're going to save 10 or 15 cents a mailer, and they'll go do it. And then they'll come back to me in a couple months and say, I didn't get any response from that. Yeah, because those guys are doing satellite dish companies one day and car dealerships the next day, and then they're doing a roofing company. They don't know nothing about roofing. And so my point is, you know, you and I
I've done that, Andy. Yeah. I've had that mentality. I have changed my view. That's who I was in the beginning.
Yep.
You know, I could do it cheaper down the street. No. Learned my lesson, moved on from there. And the other thing that we sometimes do is we think, let's do it twice. You know, do it twice and see what kind of results are. No, I changed my view on that mindset on that too. Mm-hmm. I look at mailers as an investment, and they have to continuously go out, you know, 3, 4, 5 times a year to potential clients. You know, it's something that we just do every year.
Yep. So let's talk about branding real quick. You've recently redone your website and you continue to improve your marketing strategies. Why is this so paramount to commercial roofers to constantly improve your marketing strategy? And how does it help you to stay relevant?
Well, it's always good to keep updating and, you know, refreshing your materials so it looks more interesting. And maybe there's some of the stuff that we do is kind of outdated. We just we do the same thing, but just differently. You know, that's what we're doing. We got to do that. We got to stay fresh and vibrant, you know, to the end user, the customer. You know,
and I would say constantly and consistently is better than having it perfect.
Absolutely.
Right? Some people are I got to have my marketing perfect. The colors have got to be perfect. The words got to be perfect. But
message has to be right.
Yeah, but consistency and is even better. So
right.
Yeah, you taught me that. I definitely got to be out there in front of people all the time. So for new up and coming commercial roofing contractors, or maybe they're just dipping their toe into commercial waters, what's the one thing you wish someone would have told you when you first got started up?
Okay, let me think about this just a little bit. Man, Andy, I had a great mentor when I started, and he hammered home on a few things like marketing and so forth. But I think probably one of the things that I wish that somebody would have probably told me in the beginning, right out of the gate, is looked me straight in the eye and told me, Sam, this is going to be hard sometimes. Sometimes you're going to want to quit. And but right out of the gate, you need to give you 110%, all you got, and never quit. And you will win quicker if you do that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think I kind of started out a little bit more just kind of trying it too much, and instead of focusing on it and going all in as much as I could have, you know.
Because guys like you and I at Entrepreneurs, we get caught by shiny objects, right? Like, okay, we're going to do commercial roofing. 2 or 3 months later, we're like, oh, there's this other opportunity, and I got this great thing with windows, and I can do gutters, and that all detracts from focus. Yeah,
I've been there. Stay focused. Give it all you got. Never quit. Those shining objects actually, just they take time. Most of the time, they won't pan out.
Yeah.
I've been down those trails. I've been in the 11 years we've been doing commercial and industrial now. We've done a couple rapid trails. But we're strictly there's no more rapid trails for me. We're doing commercial and industrial roofing, and being in this business probably the rest of my life.
Yep. So I know who your coach is that you're talking about. Question for you is, and this is off script, how many roofs did he walk with you or show up to show you how to install?
When I first started marketing and bidding jobs, he didn't come out to me. He did come out and foam my first foam roof that I ever installed with me.
Okay.
And then I decided, you know what, if I sell another 30,000 square feet of foam roofs, I ain't paying him no $1 square foot to come foam no roofs for me no more. I'm buying my own equipment.
Now, the reason
I did.
Now, the reason I asked that question is because I think there's too many roofers out there that they want to have hand holding. They want, I need you to come and help me do my first roof or my first 2 roofs. And I don't know. I think guys like you and me, maybe we make some mistakes along the way. Yeah, we got to go back and fix some of the roofs we did the first year, or maybe the first time we get into a system, we don't know the whole system. We're not perfect at it. And, but we're naturally risk takers. And so we jump in, feet first. And sometimes we don't have that mentor there to guide every step of our way and to show us everything that needs to be done. But that doesn't stop us. That doesn't stop us from jumping in and taking the bull by the horns and just figuring it out.
Right. And a lot of that is our mindset, Andy, that we're going to take responsibility if we do make a mistake.
Yep.
No matter what, I'll take care of a problem that I created, and we're going to solve it, and we're going to be better for it. No excuses. I'm not going to leave my customer hang if I did something wrong.
Yep.
And the honest truth is, I did go back and I repaired quite a few of my first couple of years of roofs. Yep. I did. A conservative number. I probably spent about $350,000 in repairing some of my first couple of years of roofs.
Now that sounds like a big number, but compared to the money you made, it's actually a small number.
No, but I was willing to pay that, and I can tell you right now, Andy, that we have our first customers still as customers in 5-star roofing. Yep. My people, my clients love us.
Yep.
Because of that mentality. And but doing that has paid huge dividends now, because my salespeople, when they go out and sell, they know that when they tell that customer we're the best and we'll always be there and take care of you, is true, because they have seen us go back on roofs and taking care of problem that we created. Our problems, so they can sell better. They can sell at a higher profit margins because of that.
Yep. True. I just got a call a few days ago about a residential roof I did 4 years ago. Has a 5-year workmanship warranty on it, and there's a couple shingles that have blown off. And just by the way she's telling me, I know it was a rodent or a super high wind, something that probably wasn't in our warranty. And about right, I was ready to tell the lady, well, it's probably not covered under warranty because of blah, blah, blah. But I thought, I'm just going to go take care of it. It's going to take me 25, 30 minutes, go there, take care of it. And, I could probably wiggle out of it if I wanted to, but in the interest of keeping a good reputation, as I work out of residential, to go take care of it. So, I sometimes tell people I work with, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
Yep.
No, you want to do what's right and what's legal.
Absolutely.
So jumping off the last answer you had right there, mindset, and we'll close out with this question. That's probably one of the biggest things you helped me with, when you started working with me 4 or 5 years ago. It took me a couple years to get it, but it's a lot about mindset. And a lot of guys don't even, they hear the word all the time, mindset, but they don't even really understand how to apply it. Like, whether it's writing policies or how you create a culture in your company with your employees or how you talk to your customers. But your mindset is, like you taught me, think bigger, go focus more on what you want and go after. Well, I realized what I wanted was bigger projects, more coding projects. That's what I wanted. And, but I realized I wasn't putting in the necessary effort to get what I wanted. And so you kept pounding it home, telling me, what to focus on. And it was all about mindset. And so, tell me in this final question, that first year when you were working in Minot, North Dakota, pounding shingles, trying to make ends meet, and the economy was tanking, and you were up to your eyeballs in debt. What was the mindset that switched you to think, well, I'm gonna go do commercial and I'm gonna make it? Like what did you have to tell yourself? Because you had to wake up every morning and tell yourself, I'm making this big change. I'm selling some of my tools so I can go to training. I mean, you had a lot on the line.
Well, I think one of the biggest things for me at that time was I made a very decisive decision that I'm burning all bridges. This is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do. I'll do whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. No excuse. I will have zero excuses. I am 100% focused. This is where this is where we're going to go. And I think that was key to the successes that we had then, because we had some really, really wildly successful start in this business back in 2009, Andy. I mean, me personally, from going from running 8 to 10 guys on a construction crew in my own business, my contracting business, to doing more volume in commercial roofs in 5 months with 2 guys with profit margins that and I was like, wow, this is good.
Yeah.
That was key. That was imperative that I was sold out. And I'm not going to have anybody come and hold my hands. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'll learn this business. I'll learn it. And then going from that mindset of being totally broke. We had no money, but coming up with kind of various ways to come up with some money to do some marketing in North Dakota, to buying the equipment that I needed to install these roofs. I can tell you this, that with just briefly on this last note here, that from the time I did marketing in the 1st of April to the end of May, we had closed 350,000 deals, commercial roofs. So in 2 months, from marketing to having contracts, was 350,000 by the end of May. And by the middle of June, we had all our coating rigs, we had all our foam rigs, we had everything we needed to do any commercial roof that was out there. I mean, we had some really how would I say it? From purchasing an $85,000 foam rig to $10,000 coating rigs to all the trailers and pickups that we needed, was a huge undertaking. But it probably how would I say it? The reason that happened was that we were completely sold out, and this is where we're going to go. This is what we're going to do. Mentality that we had. Does that make sense, Andy?
And you did exactly what your coach told you to do. because he'd already done it.
He had already done it.
Right.
You know, he had already done it.
Yeah.
And knowing that he had done it, there's no reason that I can't do it.
Yep.
You know, so
Exactly.
that's what we did. And that end of that year, we had a very, very successful year. And I can tell you this, for the last 11 years now in this business, me and my family, we've done more family vacations, traveling in various places than I ever imagined that we would have. So yeah, the commercial industrial roofing on my part has done us very well. And I probably will never leave the industry.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And I thank you for all the help you've given me. There probably isn't a week that goes by that I don't call you at least a couple times to ask you, questions, whether it's application or equipment or marketing or maybe even something personal. I know you and me and another guy, we work together closely on some marketing strategies. Just thank you for all the time you invested there. I know you're very busy, so you gotta go shortly here, but any final thoughts on people that want to start their commercial roofing?
I just want to say this to whoever's going to be listening here is that Andy and I had a very serious conversation about a year ago. And I think it really helped Andy switch his mindset from letting go of some of the things that was holding him back and getting completely focused on the commercial for the last year and a half, 2 years. And I'm just so proud, Andy, of what you have accomplished in the last year and a half in your commercial roofing company. And with all the things that you're doing online, on the media and so forth, sharing your story and your heart to help other people. I'm just, I'm proud that I could be part of your story, and you're just beginning. I'm going to just tell you that you're just beginning. There's a whole horizon out there that is wide open for people like you and others that want to come alongside and run with us.
Well, I think there's a revolution coming where the commercial roofing industry isn't going to be ran by $30 and $40 million companies anymore. They'll still be around, but I think there's going to be a whole revolution of young guys, new guys coming up with 3, 4, 5-man crews.
Believe it.
With the owners working, the owner working side by side and taking care of the customer. And they're going to be doing the jobs that these big boys are failing to do. I run into so many jobs, the customers like, oh yeah, they've been here 10 times to fix that repair, but it leaks every time after they're done. And and they get away with it. I don't understand it. And so
absolutely, that excites me, Andy. Right there, that excites me. I do need to run. Okay, Andy, I have a family deal going on here, so.
Well, I appreciate your time tonight, Sam. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great winter as you take it off. I know you just finished your season about a week ago, and so I've been watching those fishing pictures. So take it easy and have a great weekend.
You bet. Take care. It was an honor being on.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Rocket Roof Show podcast. Be sure to subscribe through your favorite podcasting platforms such as iTunes or Google Play to get the latest episodes as they are launched. For more, please follow us on social media or visit our website at rocketroofshow.com. We look forward to joining you here again soon at the next launch.